Oh yeah, it's fine. Fine. Okay.
Okay, great. I just got your email. I apologize for the delay in getting back to you. I was off the past couple of days. I just wanted to kind of keep you updated where I'm at with Jerry. I received a message from him saying that he was busy last week and was not able to send over the information, like the application and stuff that we were waiting on and the leave. I did let him know it does not need to be signed by you for us to move forward. But he still hasn't sent me anything.
Okay.
So the problem is that I know you have your estimates that are kind of waiting. I have to have a resolution in either to show that we do have a resolution out of your, to show you have a pathway out of your current situation. But we can't move forward with that until I get the documents from Jerry. So we're kind of like in limbo waiting on him until that happens.
Okay. So I can't get repairs or the DMV is what I'm worried about because the tows begin in 12 days. I'm on my way downtown right now to a protest in front of SFMTA, and I know two people right now that have already been towed, and I'm just really anxious about it.
Yeah, I mean, our services all depend on a resolution, right? A
Right. Well,
housing resolution.
I've agreed. Yeah, I understand that, and I've agreed to move into a campground that I really can't afford, and it's away from my children, the two children I have here that I see, and there's no medical care up there, and I'm going to have to drive like 300 miles round trip just to get medical care. And I've agreed to do this just so we can have a resolution.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand why like though it's a campground, it's legitimate. It's not anybody, like I mean, he's flat. I can't argue with you because you've got your situation, but you know, I
I
got
mean,
the I got the
we
I got the MRI back yesterday, and for my arm, and
uh-huh.
they're telling me there's no fracture in there when I fell and broke my nose back in September. So I know that the pain that I'm experiencing isn't there's something broken there. So, and they tell me that there's degenerative damage in the bone head. Not real sure what that means.
Mm-hmm.
They want me to do another different kind of MRI and a bone biopsy. So that right there is my answer to what's going on, because I've learned with doctors, you kind of like, it's like looking at a negative of a photograph, right? It takes you a while to
Uh-huh.
figure out what's really going on when they talk. So
Yeah.
I'm really sick, is what I'm trying to say. Like, this isn't just I lived 5 years in a trailer park in Antioch that we didn't know wasn't permitted, and it had 24 Prop 65 chemicals leaking on it from a Superfund
Mm-hmm.
site. So I've been,
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm really sick, and hospice is not like really an option here in San Francisco. Like, there's not like palliative care or, so I'm right now I'm trying to figure out, should I transfer my medical stuff over here because they're getting really irritated with me over there in Contra Costa, and I'm kind of like losing faith in their ability to really know, like all they want to do is surgery and chemotherapy and radiation, and I'm like, wait, back up a minute, there's more, you know, to these kind of things and those three solutions. If it's, and I can't get straight answers out of anyone over there. It's just like, come back, do more tests. I'm so anxious when I leave the RV to go do anything, like it's ludicrous, for me to be so waiting for. I've already I talked to Jerry myself on Sunday, like I said in the email. He said it's just a matter of the owners of the park purchased another park, and so now he has three of them to manage, and I'm still absolutely accepted, welcome, the whole thing. Um, he said he'll send me the prospective prices that you're waiting for, I think is what he said, and a copy of the lease. He said like I said in my email, he until he got the money, he couldn't, hold a spot. So to me, like, I really don't understand why we're like, this is all over. I've written for the paper, and he talked to him on Sunday. So, but you know, like
Uh-huh.
in 12 days this stuff starts. Like it's destruction for people who live in RVs. Like what's about to happen is like destruction. Like it's so cruel. It's like just crazy. So I'm just appreciative that you're still working with me. I didn't know where stood with everyone. So we just wait for Jerry's paper then, and then I reached out to the mechanic and told him there was a delay, and he said no problem. He'd work me in whenever got approval. And as far as the DMV, like I really feel like that's where this whole thing is going backwards. Like I feel like our plan is like we could be handling different aspects of this as we go. You and I have been talking since April 15th.
Uh-huh.
So I mean I have a real clear plan, like, and I've completely capitulated moving into somewhere, and because you couldn't accept the possibility of the original plan I had for Thousand Trails, which I could afford, but I understand, like I don't, I'm trying to go with whatever your perimeters are. So
Yeah. So, I mean, it's still, this is still a go if I can get the information from Gary.
right,
So, like I
right,
said, I called him and I sent him an email. His phone didn't go to any voicemail or answering service.
yeah.
It just rang. So I sent him an email, just to piggyback off the existing email the original email that I sent, just kind of, redocumenting what I needed. And I just let him know, like, I need that. So once I
What is
get
it?
that from
What
him,
is it exactly that we're waiting on? Like I'm not. I know like there's a copy of the lease, or what is it that we're waiting on?
a copy of the lease, and then also to the with your information on it, and then also to I needed a W-9 just for a tax ID form, just showing that when we submit payment to him that we did submit the amount that we said we were paying.
Oh, okay. So but
Yeah,
you've told I didn't know about that part. Okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
like I said, this is I just in a holding pattern. Like there's no way we could get started on something the other aspects of this in the meantime. I mean, we know Jerry's a go.
I don't have anything from Gary. So like I said, it's all of the stipulations are based on the housing resolution. So in order to say I'm paying this because Ramona's gonna move here, then I have to show that this is where you're going and this is why we need to do this. Otherwise, I would just be paying for repairs. If your resolution falls through, which I'm hoping it doesn't, and I'm not saying that it will, but if it falls through, we would not have a resolution and we would not be, we would be paying for any repairs unjustly, and our funders won't allow that.
Yeah. Well, I happen to know a little bit about the law, as you know, and I do have an active case in court. And I feel like this is like bordering on abusive because we're working together and I've completely capitulated, like moving my whole medical care. I'll be completely alone up there. It's a real disadvantage for me, and there's no assistance in any kind of helping with the rent or coming back here for medical care. So this resolution and this, I understand social working much, much more than you think I do because I've been a ghostwriter for a long time with people involved with CPS cases, and I myself have fought CPS for 3 years, and I understand the perimeters of grant funding and how the different, like I understand the layers of what you're dealing with is what I'm trying to say. Like I'm not at all hostile to, like I completely get what you're saying, right? Like I don't want you to feel like I'm being obtuse or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I understand. It's just that that what's going to happen on June 21st is very violent. I mean, it's coming at us, me. So I really, and I can't overemphasize that. Like I'm literally going down to SFMTA myself as part of this protest, but I'm going with my paperwork and I'm going to try to kickstart the tickets getting cleared because this is terrible. Like I'm scared. Like I'm really really scared.
Mm-hmm.
So waiting for, and I'm back with I'm gonna go check my mail right now. He said he'd send something when I spoke to him. This is what, Wednesday? So maybe there's something already in the mail. I'll reach out to him again too. And did you email him? When did you email him, ma'am?
I said I emailed him last week. I called and I emailed him.
Okay.
And so, hopefully, maybe he sent what I needed to you. Maybe that's what he did because I haven't received anything from him.
Okay.
But another thing I wanted to talk to you about is that I'm actually going to be leaving ECS next Tuesday.
Okay.
To move on to another opportunity. So you're actually going to be in contact with two of the other managers. They're going to be helping you out as I move on
Okay.
to next steps. So I'm going to send you an email with their contact information just so you have that.
Excellent.
And then also so that they have yours. And then I'll try reaching out to Jerry again, but let me know if you don't have anything in your mail from him today.
Okay.
And then I'll just continue to reach out, and I'll also put him in contact with new managers. Their name is Denise and Valerie. And so, like I said, I'll CC them on the email that I'm going to send you with their contact info.
Right. And also the one where you send to Jerry, the email to Jerry, if you could CC me on that one too, so that I feel like I'm in the loop.
Sure.
Yeah, that way I know,
sure.
that way I know where we're at. And also if I have an actual tow situation starting, I can like front someone with a piece of paper that, that says, hey, look, I'm working on this. I'm trying to get this done, which is half of why I'm going down to SFMT today. Okay.
Uh-huh.
This has happened to me before. I've had back in 2006, I had my school bus that I lived in with my family, children, husband, for 10 years, got taken by SFMTA for being 15 minutes over the time limit, the 72-hour tow, and I went to trial with it. That was my very first jury trial that I pulled together by myself, and I was outraged at the time, and it's been really satisfying for me to watch in federal court that these kind of tows have been found to violate the Fourth Amendment, which is what I argued back in 2006, but I didn't really know then what I was doing too well, to be honest. But I did pull together a jury trial over being towed. Like, I know a lot about it, and a lot has changed since then. And like, I know these people will tow me, and I will not, my health will not survive it. I won't survive it. Like, I won't. Like, this is not suicidal bullshit talking, excuse my French, but at all. This is like, I'm in so much physical pain with my issues. So, like I feel like if we could at least get on with okay, I get it. I understand. This is, I want you to know what the name of this is, though, so I can be very clear with you and the new managers. See, in Europe, they're much more advanced in civil liberties for nomadic people. And the name of what's happening to me is called a sedentarianization plan. Like, I'm literally being made to agree to go and live in a certain way, and I have to get the lease first before I can get the repairs or the crisis of the DMV taken care of. Shows bias, and I'm just like saying this as a administrative type of thing to say to you, like, this is not, like, if there's any leeway at all that you have with, your parameter of what you do when you call it a resolution, maybe we could try to just, like, because of the impending 6/21/21 deadline, so to speak, maybe we could just, like, start working on the mechanic part, or where I could actually physically move if, like, I can't start it now. Like, my health is to the point I can't get under the hood and, like, if they came and said, well, can you move? It runs, but I couldn't move it right now because it won't start, and all right, I'm not going to go on and on. I'm just upsetting myself. Okay.
Oh, I thought your RV was running.
No, it is running. It is running, but there's a starting problem with it. Like, there's some kind of, like, it just won't start without big squirts of that starter stuff. It runs fine. It's just that's why I need the mechanic to get out here and work with me on it and get it, where it's not. I just feel really exposed all this time. Like, I'm doing okay, and I've made so much progress since December when this began, but I really just think 12 days is not going to be enough time to, like, do the DMV and to get the smogged, and I just feel like they're going to take it, and I'm going to have a stroke or something. And so I feel very panicky about this. Is what I'd like you to explain to the managers, other managers, please.
Okay. So let me do this. Let me reach out to Jerry again. I'll send you on an email. Let me know if you have anything to in your mail. And then also too, after that, I'm going to put you in contact with the new manager who will be taking over for me, okay?
Awesome, thank you. Good luck with where you're
Okay,
going.
no problem.
Good
Good luck
luck.
to you too, Ramona.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
All
Regina.
right.
It's been good working with you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Okay, no problem. All right, bye-bye.